Welcome back to Yildiz Readings 5D. Grab a cuppa, sit back and relax. All the information for bookings is at the end of this video. Beautiful Taurus, welcome back. We're here to do your update for the month of February, hopefully to help you navigate through this month, both for singles, couples, and those of you on the fence. Very separately, we will have towards the end of the video an update for your career, your money, and other areas of your life. So if you want to stay tuned for that, stay tuned. Otherwise, without further ado, let's get into your update. Now, I am seeing at the moment, really, your nerves can be a little bit frizzled. You're navigating away, but you could get a lot of psychic downloads. So I do feel you're very receptive to energy at the minute. I'm feeling as though you're looking at the bigger picture, and there could be two major things popping off. And it's when I was shuffling the cards, two kept coming out. And so there could be something to do with two paths, two direct situations. But it feels major in a sense that you're trying to balance things. And I do feel some real great benefits can be coming through. Now, I do feel in a mental sense, you're wanting to move things forward. But at the same time, there can be areas that are frustrating you in the first week. So you may need to be a little bit patient through the first week. We are coming out of that shadow phase of Venus. Venus has been hitting both you and Libra. So collectively, yes, that has been quite heavy for you. And it is going to dissipate. It is going to calm down. And definitely when we do tune into your love life, we can guide you with that. So if that frequency inside of yourself personally was really feeling quite heavy and you were being quite strict or cross at yourself, you can find again that can dissipate. I do feel some of you are wanting to change your appearance. Some of you are wanting to change the way you're showing up in the world, and that can be quite bold initially. And I did pre-warn people back last year. It was like, look, we'll have these feelings. May not necessarily be able to address those areas right away, but maybe as we move forward, we may wish to even more so. And I feel for you, you can be looking at it. And again, it's going to be quite a social month. So pre-warned for if you can really balance it. When I say social, it could just be super busy. But for some of you, it can be that it is very social in dynamic and you're having to balance those things and trying to keep grounded through that process. For some of you, there can be added expenses in the beginning of the month. And again, self-esteem can come up. Try not to second guess yourself. Know that it's the frequency. Know that emotionally these things are going to calm down. But take time to meditate. I feel with the amethyst coming through for you, it's a really good time to detox. So if you did feel a bit claggy and you were feeling not so fantastic in that domain, I do feel a lot of us are really hypersensitive to it. But again, it can sort of start balancing out as we move forward. What you are moving away from, you're kind of feeling some of last year is repeating in this year, but, try not to tell yourself that. It may be that we're readdressing some areas, but it is going to be very different. It's touching base with some of those themes. It has been pretty hard since September last year, but as I've mentioned in all the other videos, it is set to get busy. It is set to get better. So try and grin and bear it at the moment, and you can find that this month can feel a lot lighter than it has to date. Now, what I'm seeing coming through for your zodiac sign, those of you that are, emotional and wanting to move, maybe situations surrounding home are coming up. I feel for those of you that are single, we're going to tune into that area. We're going to dive straight in. There is something that is coming to a head. And again, if it really hadn't been resolved, I feel from last year to now, I feel it's coming to a head and it's coming to a conclusion. And I feel you do really want a brand new beginning. There could have been this strictness inside yourself that you felt you needed to move forward, that you felt that things needed to be a particular way. And I feel you could be shaking off the shackles with that. I do feel inside your heart you're really wishing to make a decision. If there was a person in the past that betrayed you, this can even be your metaphor towards yourself, really trying to honour your inner compass of what's correct for you. And I feel there could be a nervousness in gearing up ready for a relationship, and especially for those of you if you have been hurt in the past. I do feel something is coming to a head, and if you have been on the fence and there has been a person in mind, there might have been information that came towards you that maybe wasn't so flash. I also feel you may need to be quite patient in addressing these areas. This can be with a person that you're entertaining and considering, or it could be in relation to a person from the past, but there appears to be something that what's required of it is a very gentle approach, but under the circumstances of potentially what went down, it's a bit of a testing subject. I feel ultimately a lot of you are going to be looking at your foundation and not wanting to get stuck. You know, some of you are like, look, do I deal with this? Can it be repaired? Is it, you know, if this is a past person, can it be repaired? Some of you do need to be careful because I do see fertility around you. I also feel something is being moved out, but you know, that momentum, that movement that you'd wanted in your life, I do see that actually flowing through this month. I do feel you're revisiting a circumstance, and if you had been on the fence and there are two paths, I do actually feel you're going to select a path. But you may need to, it's almost like it's imperative. It's almost like, you know, time's running out. That can be the demeanor we're taking, or it could be the direct situation surrounding the circumstance. Some of you, I do feel in the past, you know, the way you have been looking at relationships was very different to where you stand right now. And again, I feel lowering that guard to allow people in is going to help. But it's almost like we need to learn how to be safe, especially if somebody's hurt us before. So I feel you're wanting to be open with it. You're ready for these brand new beginnings. But it can feel a little bit like the old skeletons in the closet have been pulled back out psychologically. I feel as we move to about the third week, that can dissipate and it's not going to stress you as much. But if you are having a conversation piece and this person is actually returning from the past, I do feel again these subjects are going to come back up. So the test is, can you actually correct the course of action and have that direct new beginning? But I do feel a resolution to the circumstance will be near, providing it's dealt with in a tactical manner. Try to not go into it abruptly, but definitely listen to your intuition. I do feel the new opportunity is there, but the fresh approach is going to be required. I feel you know, during the first 2 weeks, I kind of feel like you're holding your cards close to your chest. I don't feel you're wanting to show all your cards. I do feel some of you could actually be testing an individual. I do feel some of you are trying to get to a point where you're mellowing that emotion so it doesn't govern you. But whatever hurt circumstances are there, you know, get it from the horse's mouth. Try to not take it as gospel if you're hearing it through a third party. I do feel there could be an interference. This could be your schedule. It could be the dynamic of what's going on. It also could be if they did have a family member, an ex, etc., and they had children, there could be some issues surrounding that individual. And so automatically you can feel very frustrated that you really do want that forward momentum. And that is for a pocket group of you, not all of you. But there appears to be there is an individual interfering. I do feel somebody around you is trying to give you advice, but it can be from a loving standpoint. And you need to take it as such, not necessarily take everything that is said as gospel, but definitely sit with it and see what fits for you. If this is putting pressure on you, I do feel you need to create the healthy boundary, or it could come up in quite an abrupt way. And I kind of feel you pushing back upon this person to really back off. Those of you in a coupledom, again, I'm feeling fertility. I do feel movement. I feel, trying to make a head and heart decision, but this can be in life. This can be in a major thing that you're wanting to do. Some of you feel you can't be everything to everyone, and it can be really stressing you out. But I feel ultimately this too shall pass. So, I'm being shown an image of everything messy. It can be trying to do so many things like a circus act. I feel ultimately, make that list, tuck into it. Take some time for self. Take a breather. It's kind of coming through a little bit like Virgo's read. It's like this stress frequency, and can I get everything done? Is it going to flow according to plan? I do feel in the first week it can really feel like that, but as we move into the second and the third, I feel it'll kind of calm down, and you'll realise at the other side, gee, that wasn't as bad as I thought. I actually handled that. I just feel it's very quick. I see you doing things and it's very quick. It's like having to rush for some reason. I feel almost psychologically you feel, you know, both sides of the fence. It's almost like the pressure's on. The pressure's on to make these things happen. I feel it's in a very short space of time. Some of you could get some really great news, but it just feels this added pressure that so much is happening. And, you know, can you actually achieve all these things? And I really do feel you can. If you've been waiting on a document, I do see it's coming. If you are, I really feel some of you could be moving, but a climax can come to a head when it does come to whatever is going on, you know, in the household, so to speak. So wherever you are, I do feel a subject that you've been waiting on. It can be coming to a head. You can be getting information, and it can dissipate. Now, let's have a look at those of you who are on the fence. And I may talk about towards the end partners, energies, and income. And I'll just mention it now. Look, I do feel if there was an issue surrounding your partner and their income, I do feel as we move in towards mid-month, I do feel it'll increase. So if it has been an issue, ultimately I do see you, Taurus, actually really reaching for the stars this year. There can be a bit of confusion. Some of you could be thinking, hey, you know, I'm changing my style of work. I'm mixing things around. I do feel ultimately it's going to be successful, but the first 2 weeks, as I mentioned, it's going to be a bit tedious. Those of you on the fence, I do feel there has been conflict, and I do feel there has been interferences. I do feel at times your emotions haven't been understood. I do feel you know this is coming to a head very quickly. Yours is about the only zodiac sign so far that feels very, you know, cut and straight to the point. It does feel you have had a gutful. I feel to a degree you just want simplicity. Now, this can merely be that things had peaked last month. And so where you stand right now, you want that new beginning. You want the gentleness. You're trying to really nurture yourself. And you could have a lot on your plate. So if your love interest isn't understanding that, or it can be vice versa. But I am seeing something to do with schedule dynamics, burdens, and interferences. I do feel if you're needing to talk about it, you need to get grounded. There can be a bit of a detox that's required. I feel you can't be too many things to too many people. I do feel you need to focus on your inner needs. This can be emotional, psychological, physical, but it also can be, you know, really having something for yourself, really having like a hobby or, a passionate career that you're really invested in. There's this analogy that's required right now. It's like not putting your life on hold, actually having those things. I do feel, ongoingly you can't put yourself last, because ultimately if you do, I think this is going to affect your health. Now we're going to move on to, I do feel you're going to make a decision. Either way, it's coming to a head. We're going to move on to money. Now, your money sector is set to increase. I do feel probably more so by about the second week. But again, you do need to be cautious when it does come to home. I'm also feeling a subject surrounding emotions and mother can come up this month for you. And ultimately, it can be a conversation. It could be crosswise. It might be value systems coming up. I do feel some of you are, considering this could be movement, this could be a conversation, this could be a social gathering that you're going to have. But it's something surrounding family and it's quite large. But there could be a dynamic that you're really wanting to link into that tribe. You're wanting to reconnect to your roots. I feel some of you could be moving home, or directly you're renovating and tidying shop. There could be something on the home front going on that is getting transformed and changed. But again, I am hearing, they keep saying it, if you're wanting to try for children, be really careful because the aspects are there, right? So there is an element I'm seeing when it does come to, and for some reason, I'm just going, it could be twins. Like, that's what I'm saying. It feels two energy. It could be more than one. It may be that you actually do want more than one child. So it can be for some of you that there is, confusion and maybe, waiting to hear the news. I'm hearing for some of you there could have been conflict surrounding that situation. And I also feel your health and well-being is really going to get back on track as we move forward. It might have been a little bit testing from September to now, but I do feel your health is going to improve. But I also feel what is required is a routine balance. And so moving the environment around and getting it into some sense of routine, I do feel it's going to really benefit you. Emotionally speaking, there could be some really great deep intimacy right now for those of you in a connection, but there also could be this dire need emotionally, psychologically, physically, that those of you that are single or on the fence, you really are wanting. But I do feel at a psychological level you are healing and doing a bit of shadow work. There can be a huge focus on you and what you're wanting this year. But where you stand right now, I feel you're clearing the deck. I feel you're quite intentional. You want to have it all. You want the social life. You want the health and well-being. I do see some of you are actually, if you're looking for a job, you're going to land a position that's quite high up. But you're wanting to reach for the stars. Now, if it's a business, this also can be the steps that you take between now and the 3rd week of February. I feel they will help you moving into 2022. I'm also seeing don't second guess yourself. If you're going to be doing that, really use amethyst to help balance and cleanse you. Look at the bigger picture. Rome wasn't built in a day. But I do feel these tying up of loose ends are going to occur this month. Some of you could get a big win. Some of you could have luck with lotto. I do feel luck with lotto, but you need to be careful not to tell yourself lies, not to tell yourself you can't achieve this, you can't do this, you can't heal, because I'm really seeing that you can, and I do see your zodiac sign to gain a lot of success in the month. I do feel you're going to look fantastic this month, Taurus. So self-care, self-love, speaking your truth, and I'll see you during the month. Take care, beautifuls. If you haven't clicked the bell and subscribed, I'd love to see you. Come date me, as I say, on YouTube. And for 2022, we have a lot more new content. Romance reads, twin flame updates. Yes, we have the Members Hub online, so come through and join us. And giveaways. Very separately, 2 channels being launched, as well as the Membership Hub on my website. So please click the bell. I'll see you soon, and come and join us for the lives and the super chats. Any questions, DM me.